Hey guys, Just Your Average Joe here for Just Your Average Sports, and look, it finally happened. They've been talking about it for months. They finally announced it yesterday. It's finally available for pre-order, and that is MLB the Show 21. Everybody was like, "Where is this? When are we going to be able to pre-order this game? Is it actually going to be available for Xbox? Xbox Live members and the Xbox community?" This has been something that was teased last year. This is something that's been talked about since last year. Or actually, I think even a year before that. I remember having to wait a full year. So I think we heard this back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Look, I was a part of the MLB The Show community. I was late to the game. I bought a PlayStation 4 back in 2016, almost 5 years ago. I bought it in March, and I bought it for the sole reason of having this game. My brother had it since PS3. I never really played it as much as he did on his own system. I played it a couple of times. For Xbox, I had 2K Sports, and I was playing, I think, 2K8 for several years. I actually enjoyed that game. Anyway, that being said, I finally went out, got a PS4. So I had PS4 and an Xbox One. And I got to say, look, I think the game is great. I mean, it's really technically, it's the only game out there for a baseball simulation that's realistic. And, it has its problems. It's had its glitches. It's had its server issues. In fact, I named a team for the MLB Dynasty, the Diamond Dynasty. Actually named a team SDS server errors, San Diego Studio server errors, because there were so many errors, so many server issues a few years ago. So anyway, fast forward to yesterday, they finally announced the pre-order. They gave the pre-order details. I think it's $69.99 for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and $59.99 for PS4 and Xbox One users. I have not been able to get my hands on an Xbox Series X, so I still have my Xbox One S. I'm sure it'll be fine. I pre-ordered it. My only issue with the pre-orders is they only give you two options. You have the Xbox Series X next gen pre-order that I think you get like some bonus material. I mean, you are paying $10 more. And then you have the Xbox One, which was $59.99. And you only have the deluxe edition, I think it's called, or the digital edition. Like usually, I know from previous years, again, as I said, I had the 16, MLB The Show 16, I had 17, I had 18, and 19 was my final year. I sold my PS4. I guess I can say it. I'm really not ashamed, but I was going through some hard times financially a little over a year ago. So I actually sold my PlayStation 4 right before Christmas to somebody. I think I got him in the Facebook Marketplace is where I found a buyer. And he even said he was happy. He was going to give the PS4 to his son, and whatever. So he was happy. I was happy anyway. Long story short, I sold my PS4, so I never actually bought MLB 20. My brother was telling me all year last year how good they did. The content that they kept releasing. And that's a positive thing. That was something that I was happy to hear. And another thing is too, another reason which pushed me to want to get this, to get this game. That, and I miss baseball. I do. I miss playing a baseball game. I will say MLB The Show can be very addictive. So that being said, I did place the pre-order, albeit a little upset that I didn't get a chance to have any options where I want to pay maybe $10 more, get a couple of packs, some bonus stubs. Anybody in the MLB The Show community knows that stubs goes towards, buying your favorite players if they're available to purchase. So, look, I'm stoked. I'm happy. And this isn't just the fact that it's available on Xbox. You can actually play PlayStation users. The only thing is, so perfect example is my brother has a PS5. He was lucky. He got his hands on a new console. He's got a next gen console. I'll have it on Xbox One. I can only play people on PS4. I cannot play people on PS5. That's the only bummer. So if you have a next gen console, apparently you cannot play people that have the last gen. So that's the only thing. They added a couple of things that they said. They said something about you can take your I forgot the story mode. I forgot the game mode that is called because I never really played it. I think it's Road to the Show. I can't believe I forgot that, but I believe they're referring to Road to the Show, where you basically take a player and you advance them. I think it's Road to the Show. Anyway, you take the player, you create a player, and you advance them. You know, he gets called up, he goes to the team, he plays minors, whatever, and then he finally gets called up to the major league level. Apparently, you could take that player and use him in other game modes, which I think that's really cool. And I'm sure they'll be releasing more details to come. My only bummer, besides the fact that, you know, you only had the one edition you can pre-order, is the fact that we have to wait over 2 months to get the game. You know, actually technically almost 3 months because, you know, we literally are just in February. The game comes out, the game is released on April 20th. And, you know, and that could be for a couple of reasons. I cited it for the fact that, you know, they want to make sure that everything's rolled out perfectly. This isn't the first time that it's going to be on multiple platforms. So I guess they want to make sure that everything's rolled out, you know, and everything is worked out before it's released. But also, too, you got to figure, as of now, MLB, you know, the games are scheduled to open up. Opening day is scheduled for April 1st. I heard, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that the Players Union are working on a deal to make this season 154 games, a late start, so spring training and the regular season would start a little later, extended playoffs, which is what MLB wants, and they want the universal DH. So that's another reason why maybe, and I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm sure they probably had this release date in mind for several months to come. But that could also be another weighing factor. The fact that MLB itself, you know, the games, we don't even know if they're going to open up and start playing on schedule and what that schedule is going to look like. But, you know, as of now, as of today, February 2nd, it looks like baseball is going to start on April 1st. You know, as scheduled, but who knows what's gonna, you know, and I really, honestly, I wouldn't mind a 154 game season if it means extended playoffs, which what the Players Union was against. So MLB was trying to get the Players Union to negotiate a deal, and they were trying to wrap the universal DH in as leverage. So like, all right, we'll give you the universal DH, but we wanted extended playoffs, and the Players Union didn't want that. They don't want to play a full season, more playoffs, and get paid without any compensation. So I think with this restructuring, if they take 8 games away from the regular season, tack them on to the postseason, and get the universal DH, I think it's a win-win for both. But you know, that could just be me. But guys, let me know what you think. Are you an MLB the Show player? Which console? Which member of the community are you from? Are you an Xbox user? Are you happy that it's coming out for Xbox finally? Are you a old school PlayStation user that's been playing it since PS3 days? And just let me know all that. Hope you're excited. I can't wait for more news on it. I can't wait for more, you know, more descriptions of the game. You know, what players can we expect? That was always the fun reveal that they had up until the release, is, you know, what players they're going to have. And that's what usually sold me. I mean, not almost always. I pre-ordered the game anyway. But it was the players that they were revealing like a couple of years ago. I was so pissed at the way the game was working, and, you know, the microtransaction part of it, which, you know, again, I know buying stubs is at your own risk. It doesn't mean the game really doesn't force you to buy stubs. But it is, as I said, addictive. But I remember having the server issues and whatever other issues I was dealing with the game, the glitches. Because let's face it, there are wonky glitch, you know, animations that, you know, that they've improved on the last couple of seasons as far as the game goes. But there were several issues a few years ago. So I remember like, oh, I'm not buying this game. And then they introduced Piazza. Piazza's going to be in the next one. And that's when they had the, what was it called? The Legends, I think it was called. I forgot. That was 2018. 2018 to me was a shit show. No pun intended. I think 17 and even 16 were my favorite years. I think 17 was my favorite year. 18 was horrible. That was what I'm calling it Legends, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Guys, put that in the comments. I can't remember what that was, but it took forever to unlock guys like Piazza, Ruth, Gibson, you know, and you get to choose who you want to unlock. Why can't I think of it? Well, I mean, because it was 3 years ago. Anyway, I'm excited, and as I said, I want to know more info. I want to know what players we can expect this year. You know, new guys. I think my brother was telling me. I can't remember. Oh, you know what? No, I'm confusing that with Madden. He said Joe Namath is available now. Um, I thought there was a baseball player that they teased for this year. All right. Anyway, that being said, guys, this has been Just Your Average Joe for Just Your Average Sports. A quick episode of the Batter's Box, just talking about how excited I am for. I pre-ordered it yesterday. I actually got to use a $25 gift card that I had in the Microsoft store. So this game really only cost me like $40 or $45. No, 40 bucks. So I'm happy about that. But let me know what you guys think. I can't wait for April. You know, I'll say that, and I can't wait for baseball. So go Mets. Subscribe to the channel, like the stream, and hit the notification bell. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have a great day, guys.